In this video, I'm going to show you how to create custom borders like this, and like this. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how and where to save the effects so you never have to create them again while building a powerful library of your own custom assets. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into the video. So we're in DaVinci here. I'm just going to turn the sound down. We don't need the sound. And I will just say one thing. I know that some of you, when you're watching these videos, you skip ahead to the bit you need, you watch the bit you need, and then you jump out of the video. I strongly encourage you not to do that. I strongly encourage you to watch the whole video from beginning to end. You're just going to get so much more better at DaVinci if you watch it right through, because I give little tips. I have shortcuts, little hacks, through the lessons. You'll learn so much more. You'll remember it better, and it'll just improve your editing over the long term. Let's get into it. We're going to create custom borders here in DaVinci Resolve. So it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to show you 3 ways to do it. There's a beginner, intermediate, and then let's say pro. The first 2, we can actually do it directly in the edit tab here in DaVinci. The third one, we can do it in Fusion. We've got our clip, okay? So this is me sitting here. The borders are good for like talking head videos. I use them a lot. This is the clip here we're going to put a border around. First thing we're going to do, we're going to have this centered with the border. Just open up your inspector and you'll see at the top here, we've got our transform window. Let's start at the top. We go to zoom and put in 0.5. Straight away, we've reduced the size of the video. How do we add a background? Let's go to our effects panel here on the left and type in solid. This will bring you up a generator called solid color. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pull that into your timeline here. And if I just turn this off, so let's change it to white, and you can see we are generating a solid white background. So if you just click into the solid color, go to your settings here. All we need to do now is we go to this cropping area. If I just crop in, you can see here. So let's change that to 470, and then I'll crop in from the right, 470, and then from the top 260, and then from the bottom 260. So it's pretty much as easy as that. Now we have this simple white border around our clip. There we go. End of the video, I'm going to show you how and where to save the effects. Now what I'm going to do is if I grab both of these pieces of media, right click and new compound clip. Now this has combined the two, and if I go to the transform here, even this one, now I can move it around the screen wherever I want. So if I want to put it down in the bottom corner, if I want to make it smaller like this, I can move it. We have, let me just put that back. We have our clip. So what we can also do here now is if I go to the generator and go to the color, now we have the option to change the color. So if we want some blue, we want some orange, something nice. I like to change the color if I make the border glow. So I'm going to show you how to make the border glow around the outside. So if we change the color to, let's say, orange, back to settings. Now you see here where it says softness. If we just pull that up, we can see now it's kind of like got this glow effect. But all we need to do now is just sort of crop it in a bit more. Let's say 530 for that, 530 for that one. And from the top, let's say 320 and then 320. So now we have this border that glows. So it's just a different, it's got a bit more interest. It looks a bit cooler. We can go back into the solid color here, go to generator, go to the color, and now we can just change. And we still have this glow, but just in different colors. So that's quite nice. The blue kind of matches the vibe in the back there with the lights. And finally, the third way, so if I go across to my effects panel on the left here, if I press effects and grab in this fusion composition and just drag it to the same length as my media. So now we have this fusion composition. Now we go down here into fusion, open it up. We're going to be greeted with a blank screen. So the first thing we want to do is, we want to see this button here. This is background. We're just going to pull a background into fusion. We're going to connect the background to the media out, and then we'll add a rectangle, and that's going to connect to the background. So now you can see here, we have a black rectangle in Fusion. So we have the black rectangle here. Let me just, if I click into the background and change the color. So let's change it to color. Let's change it to blue. Press OK. And then let's go back. And if I drag the clip above, so if I turn this on off, we can see we have a solid rectangle, the exact same size as our piece of media here, 0.5. So what I need to do in Fusion, if I go into Fusion, press on the rectangle and just increase this to 0.006. See how the square just got a little bit bigger? If I go back to the editor, I'm just going to drag my media on top And now we have the blue border, but this time, instead of the solid color from our effects panel, we have this coming straight in from Fusion. If I want to go back into Fusion, if you'll see, because I've got my piece of media above the Fusion composition, if I go back in, it's going to be reading the piece of media on top. So what I need to do is I just need to disable the top clip, and now it's going to read this one, the Fusion composition. So if I go back into Fusion, you can see we have our rectangle. So let's play around and create some cool effects here. So if I open this up, let's change it to like an orange color and press OK. Go back, let's see. Okay, cool. I like that. Back into Fusion, and I want to add some halation. So if I click background, shift space, type in halation, and then add it, you can see now we have this nice soft border around. So if I zoom out, let's do that, fit. If I go back to this and turn on my media, you can see now we're starting to get some nice effect here. Not where I want it, but we're going to play around with it and get it to a nice red glow. So let's turn that off, go back into Fusion. And you see on the right side here, we've got our halation effects panel. Now we can start playing around, and it's going to make some changes to this rectangle. First thing we're going to change is the threshold. So let me just change this to 0.362. Normalization, we'll keep it at 1. Let's change the film saturation level to 3.197. Okay. The strength is going to be 0.551. Gamma, 1.35. Saturation, let's bump that up to 1.398. And the spread, that 1. Okay. So now you can see we've got some bit more of a glow on the border. And if we just go back to our edit tab and turn on our media, let's just reduce the size of the rectangle slightly. Let's change it to 5. Back to our edit, and let's just play around. So there we go. So now we've got, this is a more interesting border. The thing is, if we go back into the Fusion tab, we have so much control. That's the benefit of using Fusion over the effects panel here. Fusion, you have so much more control in how you can manipulate and change your borders. We can add in some, let's say some glow. We've got a bit more of a glow. Let's toggle that on and off. You can see it's changing the border. It's more glowy. We can actually make the glow bigger. So you can see now, if I go back into my edit, we have this really nice, beautiful glow around our border. And we can just get creative with it. You know, we can manipulate it. We can change it. Let's change the color. So we go and change it to blue. We have this like beautiful blue glow coming off it. Back into the edit tab, turn that back on. And we have this like neon blue glow happening. So yeah, Fusion's so much more powerful to the effects tab. So if you have the time, I recommend jumping into Fusion, playing around with it. I'll put all these settings in the description below so you can easily just follow along, copy in the settings and get these exact same effects. So once you've created your effects in Fusion or in the effects panel, you'll want to save them. And the way we do that is we use power bins. So the first thing you want to do is go back to your media page, Shift 2, it'll bring up your media page. And if your power bins are not toggled on, just go to these 3 dots here and show power bins. So sometimes they're on, sometimes they're not. Smart bins and power bins. I would keep them on always. If you don't know what power bins and smart bins are, you can check this video and I'll walk you through everything. So we've turned the power bins on, back in, and we have it here. Anything that you do in the media page will follow you through DaVinci on every single page. So we pull up our edit tab and we have our power bins. So what we're going to do is if we open up our power bins, you can see I've created subfolders inside the power bin. And here I've got Fusion compositions. So you can save these wherever you want. But if I have created something in Fusion like this, I can just drag it and drop it right in there. So you can see that Fusion composition that I've just created is now inside our power bin, inside the subfolder. I can just rename it. So I'll just say blue glow. It's called blue border glow, and that's saved in there. So now what this means is if I start a new project, let's just go back to our project library manager and let's do a new project. Let's call it tutorial 1. Then I create it, new project. So empty project, there's no media inside this one. But if we look on the left here, we've got our power bins and we have our Fusion compositions and we have our blue border glow. And there you go, just like that, so fast, efficient. You've got your border and obviously you'll pull your media into this project and you have this saved. You can start building out a powerful library of custom assets that you've created and you'll never lose them. They'll all be saved in your power bins. So every single project you have going forward, it's all going to be here. So super useful, super powerful. Let's just go back, open up this one. Same with our solid color border here. So this one that we created, grab the solid color. So I've got this one here, small window. Let's save it. Let's drag it in there and call it 5 blue center border. So this one, now I've saved it in my power bin. If I drag that in, so we just have this part of the media. So what I also like to do actually is if I open up my piece of media here, this one, we have saved the sizing. So the zoom, the position is saved to match this border. So what I'll actually do is I'll just drag this in. I'll rename it the same, blue center border. Let's just pull in a fresh piece of media. So say for example, solo seagulls. Let's just pull that in. So say we started a new project and we have this piece of media here in our timeline. So what I can do, if I want the blue center border for this piece, I'll just pull in these 2 clips. And basically, if I look here, I have the piece of media. If I just copy the video clip, so Command C, and then Shift Command V, it'll bring up our paste attributes window, apply. Now we've copied the sizing from this piece of media to this piece of media. And all I have to do now is drag it over. And there you go. We have our blue border on our new piece of media. So as quick as that, saved in your power bins, build up your custom assets, and there you go. You've got a nice blue border for your media. Same again, if I go to Fusion, pull this one in, there we go. We got a nice glow for our media. You can see how powerful these power bins are actually going forward. So once you save your assets in there, it's going to save you so much time for future edits. What I'll also do is, in the comments below, I'll leave in the sizing for all of these assets. And let me say, for example, if I take this one, if I go into my small window and let me pull in left side. So this one, if I copy my clip, Shift Command V, apply all, take the border. Now we have our custom border in the left-hand corner. So you can see that I have different zoom positions for each of the borders. So I've got the center border, the left border, the right border. I'll put all the transform attributes in the comments below, so you can just easily copy if you want the left side, the right side, the center, and it'll create it just like this, along with the border settings as well. So that'll all be in the description. You can just copy and paste them and start making your own custom borders in DaVinci Resolve.